Imagine walking through life with complete emotional mastery. No matter what happens, whether someone insults you, a crisis strikes, or unexpected challenges arise, you remain calm, composed, and in control. This is not some unattainable ideal. It is the promise of Stoicism, a philosophy that has guided warriors, emperors, and thinkers for centuries. The Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, were not just philosophers sitting in ivory towers. They were men of action who faced real-world chaos with unshakable composure. Their secret? They understood that while we cannot control external events, we can always control our reactions. In this exploration, we will dive deep into 5 Stoic rules that prove the power of not reacting. These are not abstract concepts, but practical, actionable strategies that you can apply immediately to take command of your emotions, your decisions, and ultimately, your life. Rule 1. The Dichotomy of Control. The foundation of Stoic wisdom. At the very heart of Stoic philosophy lies the dichotomy of control, a concept so fundamental that Epictetus, a former slave turned philosopher, made it the cornerstone of his teachings. He stated simply, some things are within our control and some are not. This deceptively simple statement contains profound wisdom that can transform how you experience life. Let us break it down. In any given situation, there are elements you can influence, your thoughts, your actions, your decisions, and elements you cannot. The weather, other people's opinions, economic conditions. The mistake most people make is wasting their energy trying to control the uncontrollable. They argue with reality, stress over circumstances beyond their power, and in doing so create unnecessary suffering for themselves. The Stoic solution is elegantly simple. Focus only on what you can change. The transformative power of this principle. When you truly internalize this concept, several remarkable transformations occur in your life. First, it eliminates unnecessary stress. Think about how much mental energy you expend worrying about things you cannot change. The moment you stop this futile effort, you free your mind from anxiety. Second, it makes you more effective. When you direct your energy only toward what you can influence, you become more productive and impactful. Third, and perhaps most importantly, it builds emotional resilience. When you accept that some things are beyond your control, you stop reacting emotionally to them. You develop what the Stoics called apatheia, not in the modern sense of apathy, but as a state of being free from destructive emotions. Practical application. In daily life, to apply this principle, begin by asking yourself a simple but powerful question whenever you feel stress or frustration. Is this within my control? If the answer is no, consciously let it go. This is not passive acceptance, but strategic focus. Next, shift your focus to action. Instead of complaining about external circumstances, ask, what can I do right now to improve this situation? This question redirects your energy toward productive action. Finally, practice acceptance. Some things are simply beyond your power. The sooner you accept this fundamental truth, the sooner you find peace. Remember, acceptance is not weakness, it is the recognition of reality, and reality is the Stoic's greatest ally. By mastering the dichotomy of control, you stop reacting to the chaos around you and start responding with wisdom. You become like the Stoic sage who stands firm while the storms of life rage around him, unshaken because he knows where his power truly lies. Rule 2. Negative visualization. The Stoic art of mental preparation. At first glance, the Stoic practice of negative visualization might seem counterintuitive or even pessimistic. Why would anyone deliberately imagine losing what they have? But this powerful technique is neither pessimistic nor morbid. It is in fact one of the most liberating practices in Stoic philosophy. Seneca, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers and a man who faced exile and political turmoil, wrote, "Rehearse them in your mind. Exile, torture, war, shipwreck. If you expect only what is usual and known, you will be overwhelmed by the slightest misfortune." Negative visualization is a mental exercise where you deliberately imagine losing what you value most, your health, your wealth, your loved ones. The purpose is not to make you fearful, but to make you grateful and resilient. The threefold power of negative visualization. This practice works its magic in 3 profound ways. First, it reduces fear of loss. When you mentally prepare for the worst, you become less afraid of it. The things we fear most are often those we have not prepared for. By facing potential losses in your mind, you rob them of their power to terrify you. Second, it increases gratitude. By imagining losing what you have, you appreciate it more. We often take our blessings for granted until they are gone. This practice reverses that tendency. Third, it strengthens mental toughness. You become less reactive to unexpected setbacks because you have already considered them. When challenges arise, they do not catch you off guard because you have already faced them in your mind, implementing negative visualization. In your life, to make this practice work for you, incorporate it into your daily routine. Spend a few minutes each morning or evening in quiet reflection, imagining losing something you value, then consciously return to gratitude. This is not about dwelling on loss, but about using the imagination of loss to deepen appreciation. Before important events, visualize potential obstacles. This mental preparation ensures you will not be caught off guard. By accepting that things can go wrong, you react less emotionally when they do. This is not pessimism, it is pragmatic preparation. The Stoic does not hope for the best while ignoring the worst. He prepares for both, ensuring he is ready for whatever life brings. Negative visualization trains your mind to remain steady when life throws challenges your way. It is like a mental vaccine that prepares your emotional immune system to handle adversity without being overwhelmed. Through this practice, you develop the Stoic virtue of courage, the ability to face reality, whatever it may be, with composure and strength. Rule 3. The discipline of assent, the power of the pause. In the heat of the moment, when emotions run high and reactions come fast, the Stoic practice of the discipline of assent provides a crucial tool for maintaining control. Epictetus, who taught this principle to his students, stated, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This simple statement contains a profound truth. Between any event and your response to it, there is a space. In that space lies your power to choose. Most people react instantly, without thinking. They let their emotions dictate their actions, often with regrettable results. The Stoic, however, pauses. He questions his initial reaction before acting on it. This pause, this moment of reflection, is where wisdom resides. The transformative benefits of the discipline of assent. This practice offers 3 significant benefits that can transform your emotional life. First, it prevents impulsive reactions. Most emotional outbursts happen in the heat of the moment when we are carried away by our feelings. The simple act of pausing gives you back control. Second, it improves decision-making. When you do not react immediately, you give yourself time to consider the best course of action. You make better, more rational choices. Third, it reduces regret. How many times have you said or done something in anger that you later regretted? The discipline of assent prevents this by ensuring your actions align with your values rather than your temporary emotions. Mastering the discipline of assent. To apply this principle effectively, practice the 10-second rule. Before reacting to anything, take a deep breath and count to 10. This small pause can prevent emotional explosions and give you time to respond rather than react. Learn to question your thoughts. Ask yourself, is this thought true? Is it helpful? Does it serve me? This simple questioning can diffuse emotional reactions before they take hold. Finally, practice reframing situations. Instead of seeing an event as a disaster, ask, what can I learn from this? This shift in perspective transforms challenges into opportunities for growth. By mastering the discipline of assent, you stop being a slave to your emotions and start responding with wisdom. You become like the Stoic who stands firm in the storm, not because he feels no wind or rain, but because he has learned to move with them rather than be blown over by them. This is the power of the pause, the space between stimulus and response where human freedom resides. Rule 4. Amor Fati, the radical acceptance of reality. Among the most powerful and transformative of Stoic practices is Amor Fati, a Latin phrase meaning love your fate. This is not passive acceptance, but a radical embrace of whatever life brings. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor who ruled Rome during times of war and plague, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Amor Fati is the understanding that whatever happens, even the most challenging circumstances, can be embraced as part of your journey. It is not about liking everything that happens, but about finding meaning and growth in all experiences. The profound impact of Amor Fati. This practice transforms your relationship with life in 3 fundamental ways. First, it eliminates victim mentality. When you stop blaming external circumstances and instead take responsibility for your response, you reclaim your power. Second, it turns obstacles into opportunities. Every challenge becomes a chance to grow stronger, wiser, more resilient. The The Stoic sees difficulties not as roadblocks but as training grounds for the soul. Third, it creates inner peace. When you stop resisting reality and instead flow with it, you stop suffering. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Amor Fati shows you how to experience the former without the latter. Living with Amor Fati. To make this principle a living reality in your life, practice reframing adversity. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What is this teaching me?" This simple shift transforms your relationship with challenges. Look for the lesson in every setback. The Stoics believe that every obstacle contains a hidden benefit, a seed of opportunity. Your task is to find it. Finally, practice gratitude, even in difficult times. There is always something to be thankful for, some blessing to acknowledge. This does not mean ignoring pain, but recognizing that light and shadow exist together. Amor Fati teaches you not to react with resistance, but to flow with life's challenges. It is the ultimate expression of Stoic resilience, the ability to stand firm in the face of whatever life brings, not by resisting it, but by embracing it as part of your journey. This is not passive acceptance, but active engagement with reality on its own terms. Rule 5. The view. From above, the cosmic perspective. The final Stoic practice we will explore is the view from above, a mental exercise that provides perspective on life's challenges. Marcus Aurelius, who practiced this regularly, wrote, "Look at the stars and from their fixed stations contemplate the constant changes of the elements below them. Such contemplations wash away the filth of earthly life." This practice involves imagining yourself looking down at your life from a higher perspective, seeing the bigger picture. When you zoom out in this way, most problems don't seem as significant. The view from above helps you realize how small and temporary most of your worries are in the grand scheme of things. The transformative power of perspective. This practice works its magic in 3 important ways. First, it reduces overreactions. When you see the bigger picture, small problems don't seem as significant. Most of what we stress about won't matter in 5 years, let alone 500. Second, it increases perspective. This exercise reminds you of the transient nature of most concerns. Third, it encourages humility. You realize you're part of something much larger than yourself, a small but significant piece in the vast cosmos. Applying the view from above. To make this practice effective, incorporate a daily perspective exercise. Spend a few minutes each day imagining yourself looking down at Earth from space. How small do your problems seem from this vantage point? Ask yourself the big questions. Will this matter in a year, in 5 years? This simple questioning can put most concerns in their proper perspective. When people around you are overreacting, mentally zoom out and observe the situation objectively. This detachment allows you to respond rather than react. The view from above helps you not sweat the small stuff and focus on what truly matters. It is the ultimate Stoic practice of perspective taking, reminding you that while your problems are real, they are also temporary and often smaller than they appear when you're lost in them. Conclusion. The path to Stoic master. The power of not reacting is one of the greatest gifts Stoicism offers. By applying these 5 rules, the dichotomy of control, negative visualization, the discipline of assent, Amor Fati, and the view from above, you gain mastery over your emotions, reduce unnecessary suffering, and live with greater wisdom and resilience. These are not just philosophical ideas, but practical tools for living. The next time you feel the urge to react impulsively, remember you have the power to choose your response, and in that choice lies your freedom. This is the Stoic path, the way of the warrior philosopher, who faces life's challenges not with fear or resistance, but with courage, wisdom, and unshakable composure. It is a path available to anyone willing to practice these principles, a path that leads to true emotional mastery and a life lived with purpose and peace. The choice is yours. Will you walk this path?